From now you will either be fastening your seatbelt in the cockpit of the future or watching from the tarmac as everyone else takes off, without you. That is not hype. It is the choice Elon Musk just dropped on every American who has ever burned 2 hours in bumper-to-bumper traffic, paid $5 a gallon to idle on an interstate parking lot, or stared at a boarding gate while another delay crawled across the screen. Today the rumor mill ends. Tesla's $79,597 electric supersonic VTOL jet, yes, the one your group chat laughed off as vaporware, has locked in FAA Part 23 certification for Q3 2026, rolled out of an expanded Nevada gigafactory that already stamps one fuselage every 90 seconds, and opened reservations to the public this morning. If you want to watch history happen to someone else, keep scrolling. If you want to own the air above traffic forever, stay with me for the next 40 minutes because we are about to unpack every bolt, battery cell, and federal loophole that turns a sci-fi render into a driveway reality. Let's open with the number that just detonated every boardroom from Chicago to Shenzhen, $79,597. That sticker is not a typo. It is the base price of an aircraft that outruns a Gulfstream G650 in city-to-city time, outlifts a Robinson R-66 helicopter with 1/3 the noise, and costs less than a loaded Ford F-150 Limited. Boeing's cheapest certified single-engine turboprop starts at $3.2 million. A Cirrus Vision jet, darling of the affordable private market, lists at $2.4 million. Tesla undercuts them by 97% without using subsidies, tax credits, or wishful accounting. The weapon is a production line cannibalized straight from the Model Y playbook. 2 gigapresses the size of apartment buildings stamp an entire carbon fiber fuselage, wings, and tail in a single 8-second squeeze. 65% of the assembly labor vanishes, 55% of the parts count disappears, and the cost curve bends like a SpaceX landing burn. Add aluminum-ion batteries produced at $45 per kilowatt-hour, 60% below the industry average, and the math becomes vicious. Every competitor either matches Tesla's price or exits the market. There is no middle. But a cheap plane that falls out of the sky is still an expensive crater, so let's talk weight. The ghost that has haunted electric aviation since the Wright brothers is energy density. Jet fuel carries 43 times more power per pound than even the best lithium-ion pack. Tesla's answer is Starvolt, a solid-state aluminum-ion chemistry cooked up in Fremont that hits 500 watt-hours per kilogram. Double Tesla's current 4,680 cells, while remaining 99.8% non-flammable. Translation: the 100 kilowatt-hour pack needed for a 1,300-mile Los Angeles to New York hop weighs 1,984 pounds instead of the 3,968 pounds a traditional pack would demand. That single breakthrough frees 2,000 pounds of payload, the difference between carrying 2 passengers and carrying 4+ golf clubs. Weight savings compound like interest. Lighter batteries mean smaller motors mean lighter landing gear. Lighter gear means a simpler airframe. In aerospace engineering, every pound you delete removes another pound of structure meant to support it. Tesla deletes an entire ecosystem of mass and laughs all the way to the runway. Runway, however, is optional. 6 tilting electric duct fans, each the diameter of a car tire, produce 120 kilowatts of thrust, vectoring through software fine-tuned by the same Dojo supercomputer that taught Teslas to navigate Miami at 2 a.m. The fans are buried inside wings sculpted from carbon fiber laminates rated at 800 megapascals tensile strength yet lighter than the aluminum sheets on a Cessna 172. Noise? 55 decibels at 100 feet, quieter than a dishwasher and 30 decibels below a helicopter. That acoustic signature slips under the FAA's Stage 5 threshold and unlocks rooftop vertiports, mall parking decks, and cul-de-sac driveways as legal launch pads. Vertical takeoff needs only a 1,000 square foot patch, roughly 2 tennis courts. So the nearest airport is wherever you are standing right now. Which brings us to the federal paperwork that usually strangles innovation in red tape. Tesla did not negotiate with the FAA, it weaponized a presidential executive order. On June 6, 2025, the Trump administration signed a directive ordering the FAA and NASA to fast-track advanced air mobility, allocate $15 billion to certification facilities, and grant Part 23 compliance to any electric aircraft demonstrating triple redundancy in propulsion, energy, and flight control. Tesla walked in with quadruple redundancy, dual starvolt packs, dual inverters, quad flight computers, and a mechanical glide ratio of 12:1 if every electron dies. The FAA's own test pilots watched Starvolt cells survive temperature swings from -58 to +176 degrees Fahrenheit, 12G vibration tables, and nail gun punctures without flame or smoke. Certification moved from a decade-long slog to a 2026 calendar slot. Inside the cabin, Tesla erases the line between aircraft and living room. Seats modeled on the Model X recline 150 degrees, swivel 360 degrees, and remember your lumbar settings via seat-embedded biometric sensors. A single 18-inch laminated touchscreen replaces every yoke, knob, and switch. Grok 4 natural language AI obeys commands like, "Take me to grandma's," and files the flight plan with ATC before you finish the sentence. Panoramic electrochromic glass tints automatically at altitude, while cabin noise stays below 45 decibels. Library quiet, thanks to magnetically levitated fans and active noise cancellation baked into the fuselage. Starlink dishes embedded in the roof deliver 300 megabit Wi-Fi so you can stream 4K Netflix while the car you're not driving beats you to the destination. Climate control uses microjets that track body temperature. There are no overhead vents, no recycled airplane smell, just conditioned air aimed silently at each passenger's personal microclimate. We have covered speed, safety, and luxury, but the final domino is the ownership model that democratizes the sky. Tesla SkyShare works like Airbnb for wings. $4,500 a month buys you 1/8 ownership, full maintenance, insurance, and access to mega chargers that refill 80% capacity in 30 minutes. Flight schools, regional businesses, and weekend adventurers split the asset instead of begging banks for million-dollar loans. Analysts project SkyShare will capture 22% of America's $15 billion electric VTOL market. By 2030, roughly 50,000 aircraft, creating an aerial Uber before Uber figures out ground autonomy. So here we are, 40 minutes later, staring at the fork in the sky. On one side is the future you already know, 2-hour commutes, billion-dollar highway band-aids, and $5 Jet A fuel that will only get more expensive. On the other side is a stainless steel Dragonfly that takes off from your driveway, drinks sunlight, and lands in Manhattan before your coffee cools, all for less than the price of a pickup truck. The reservation button is live at tesla.com/skone. Deposit is fully refundable, production is capped at 12,000 units in year 1. And the first 1,000 buyers get lifetime Starlink connectivity plus priority delivery slots. Click now or spend the next decade watching taillights. The sky is no longer the limit, it is the loophole.